Hey, what's going on, guys? So in today's video I want to have a further discussion about the whole Zippo situation. There are some wrong assumptions that have been made. I did make a video, if you have not seen it, I made a video recently showing my Zippo collection, or at least a lot of my Zippo collection, and I mentioned that I was going to be selling it. And I got lots of messages and comments like, oh, it's an end of an era, and I started watching the videos because of Zippos, it's sad you're not collecting them anymore, you know, stuff like that. And that's not true. I am very much collecting Zippos. Now, that doesn't really make sense to a lot of people. Well, if you're collecting them, why'd you sell so much of it? Well, I just need money. It's that simple. I'm an adult. I have bills. I have responsibilities. I don't make a lot of money. And I was forced to sell it. I have a very specific, tough financial situation, which I'm not going to get into in this video, but it was literally sell my lighters or don't pay the rent. And that's not good. So it wasn't something I wanted to do. But I'm an adult, and when I get into certain pinches like that, I try to have a backup plan financially, and that's one of my plans. Everything that I own is for sale. It always is, always was, in a pinch, because I'd rather, you know, sell something that I enjoy than live in the streets. So that's just what it is. So yeah, that's number one. I didn't sell it because I'm not collecting anymore. I'm very much collecting. For me, it's kind of, it's a hidden blessing in that I get to start over again. No, I didn't want to, but now it was somewhat forced. It's kind of cool to start over. You know what I mean? I've done this once before. I've mentioned that multiple times in videos. I had a very large Zippo collection, and I had traded it, and I originally traded it for a gun, and then I later traded the gun for a knife, and then I later sold the knife, right? And that didn't stop me from loving and collecting Zippos, so I accumulated all those Zippos years later. And here we are again with a refresh. That's kind of how I see it, is out with the old and in with the new. So, with a refresh, I get the opportunity to change what I'm doing. And that's exactly what I decided to do. So I'm still collecting Zippos, but specifically, I'm collecting the table lighters, because I've always had a goal to have one of each style of Zippo table lighter. I have a couple in my collection now, and I'm going to keep those forever, at least that's what I think, unless I have to sell them in the future. But for now, that is where my Zippo collection is starting. It's starting over with that specific goal. So regular size Zippos, I have plenty. I saved probably 25 or 30 that you did not see. Maybe I'll show that collection in the future. They all have very specific, you know, meaning to me. Most of them have sentimental attachment to it. For one reason or another, they're Zippos I'll always have, okay? So I'll always have a Zippo collection. But yes, I am still actively collecting Zippos, just not the same way. Before, it was pretty much anything. You know, before my collection was all over the place. I collected anything that I thought was cool or fun, or if I saw one at a garage sale, or if I saw one, you know, or if someone offered one in trade, I was like, hell yeah, Zippos, I love them, I'll take them all. But now I have a more specific goal. So once I get one of each of the table lighter models, I'll move on to something else and try to be very, you know, dialed in and specific as to what Zippos I want to collect. I would say one of Zippos that I've never had is a genuine black crackle. I would love to get one. That's one of the holy grail models. I would love to get a titanium Zippo back in the collection. I've mentioned this before. When they came out, they were like 75 bucks. I bought one at some point. You know, everyone wanted them, and I sold mine for like $400. Or I traded, I forget the details, but I got $400 worth of value, whether it was in trade or it was for sale. And then like now or recently, I've seen them, you know, sell as high as $1,000, or at least they're listed for $1,000. So that's you know, one I miss. But yeah, it's just a reboot. That's all. I love these things. I think they're awesome. I will always collect them, right? So now let me back up a little bit. First off, the collection was sold, and I'm happy it was sold to a friend of mine who I've known for years, who's actually in the knife community. I'm not going to say who it is, but he does do YouTube videos, so if you happen to follow him by chance and you see the videos, you'll know who bought it. But I'm very happy it's going to a nice home. He's very excited to, you know, open each one and, you know, look at each individual one. It's a lot to see, so it's kind of exciting opening it up and everything. But they're in the mail as I'm filming this video, so they're out of my hands and off to a new home. What you're seeing on the table are not my Zippos. They're my wife's Zippos. So what ended up happening was going through this process and looking through everything. My wife's looking through everything with me, and she caught the bug. she really went like, this is really cool. And she, you know, I was kind of explaining again. She knew in the past, but didn't really, back then she didn't retain, you know, the information about the date codes and the bottom stamps and all that stuff. So talking about it again, it got the juices flowing. So she's very excited, and she's a brand new Zippo collector. What does that mean? Well, the first thing it meant was, now that I'm going through all my stuff, she got the first pick, right? The first pick of all the good Zippos that she wanted. So she definitely pulled a bunch of them out of my collection. So I had even more. I probably had, I want to say maybe she grabbed like 10 or so, you know, here and there. She likes the armor Zippos. She liked this one specifically. This is not only an armor Zippo, but this is also the exact model that was shown in the How It's Made episode, which she watched. And she's like, oh, cool, you got that one from the show. And I'm like, yeah. So she wanted this right away. Put one of the Rose Art flames in here. This is just for decoration. All right, so she popped one of these in there and got one of my stands. So this is like on the bookshelf so she can display it. It's a little heavy off to the left, but yeah, so she displays this one. But then after everything was sold, we were out and about, and now she's looking, right? So we're at a gas station, and she saw this one. She had a list of like one sheet that she's very interested in, and this was on the list. She saw it at the gas station, so she bought it. All right, this one is a, you know, Game Boy-ish kind of motif here. This is a raised plate, so this is all like 3D. So it's all textured, which is really cool. So the buttons, I mean, you can feel the texture on there. It's just cool. She liked it. She dug it. So that was her first Zippo she's ever bought herself. And that's it. She just started a collection. So she likes random ones for different reasons. And I thought that was awesome. I'm very excited that she likes that stuff. So when we're out and about doing things, or if we go antiquing, or if we go to the store, or even if we go to like the county fair, I know there's a guy at the county fair that sells jewelry and stuff, and he has like 4 Zippo cases. Now, I was never super excited for those to look through them, because like I never really bought them brand new. I would trade for my Zippos. I would buy them on eBay for very specific reasons. I wasn't the guy that just bought new ones, but my wife is the person who's just like, hey, I like this design, and that's it. Just buys a brand new one. So who knows? You know, in the future, if we go to the county fair and she goes to that thing and she sees one she likes, it's a little memory from the county fair. So I think it's awesome to see a brand new collector, and obviously it's my wife. So like in the beginning, like I said, I hooked it up. She got the first pick of whatever she wanted. You know, I didn't really care. So yeah, she's got her own little collection now. So it's on another thing that we bond over, in addition to all the other hobbies that we both enjoy. I mean, she loves knives. She doesn't have the same passion for knives that I do. But she does carry one occasionally, not all the time. Like, you know, whoever's watching, you probably have a knife in your pocket right now. Same with me. But she does carry them often enough, and she has a nice little collection. And, you know, like once in a blue moon, she'll break it out and go through all the knives and talk about them again and show me. I'm like, yeah, I remember that one. I remember this one. So it's cool. Like I said, it's nice to have hobbies, but it's obviously even cooler if your significant other is into the same hobbies, obviously. So her picking up the whole, you know, love for Zippo lighters. And what really sparked it was going to the museum. Now, by the way, I do have to apologize. There's probably 4 people offhand who wrote messages like, dude, what the hell? I live in Bradford, or I live down the road. You should have said something. I would have liked to meet you and had a conversation. I do apologize for that. That trip was not very planned. When I was in Canada, I realized, like, hey, on the way back, we could probably go to the Zippo factory. And it was kind of a loose plan. And then the day of, when we were leaving, I'm like, nah, I'm just so beat. I didn't want to do it. And we're literally on the highway, and like just out of the blue, I told my wife, because she's doing the GPS and stuff, and I'm like, how far out of the way is that? And she's like, it's like 2 hours out of the way. I'm like, screw it, let's go. And so she was down. She's like, all right, cool. And when she got there, she loved it. Just loved the history, loved seeing all the different models and stuff. So that really sparked the interest for her. And then, of course, like I said, came back. We went to the collection and everything, and now it's history. So my wife is now a Zippo collector. So yeah, I'm still very much into it. I love it. It was just for money. That's it. I needed money. It's a toy. My collections are all toys to me. They're man toys. You know, I love my knives. I love everything. The guns are a little bit different. I made that promise that I would never, that's like literally the last thing I would sell. I would sell all my knives. I would sell all my lighters and my, you know, precious metals, all that kind of stuff way before I would ever sell a firearm. That would be like literally I'm going to be in the street or sell a gun. And I don't have very expensive guns. I have a lot of them. I'm not going to say how many, but I have enough to probably get a nice little militia together in the apocalypse. I can at least hand them out to people, which may or may not be a good idea. Who knows, maybe they turn on me. But I have plenty to, and my idea is stashing them everywhere. I mean, I literally have them everywhere. I don't have guns sitting in a safe like some dudes. My guns are all in action, so to speak. They are behind things, in things, secretly hidden. They are in multiple locations. It's not just my home. I mean, they're everywhere. That's why I have a bunch of them. So pretty much wherever I am, I have access to a gun. I have them literally buried. No joke. So I know it's weird and extreme to some people, but I just find so much value in it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can always probably find $200 or $300, which is what I would get for, you know, an average used, you know, handgun or something. Or maybe a cheaper rifle. But anyway, that's a whole different conversation. I'm just saying that's something that I wouldn't even think about selling, because people ask occasionally, you know. But that's a no-go. I do regret the few firearms I've sold in the past. Yeah, I just miss them all. You know, I regret, you know, everything, like knives, Zippo, all that kind of stuff. Someone said too, like, you know, hey, it's just money. You know, don't sell the collection. You're going to regret it. I mean, I miss things, but I don't really have regrets like you would think. It's just kind of like a fleeting thought in the future. Like, oh, I wish I had my Zippos. They were sitting like in storage. I don't have them displayed. I mean, my old house, I had a lot of stuff displayed, and it kind of came across almost like a single dude, you know, like when I was 15, I had all my knives on the wall and all the Zippos and stuff. It's just different now. I'm a married man. I'm moving on. I'm mature. Not to say it's immature, but you know what I'm saying. I don't have like a man room, man cave to have that kind of stuff. So, and particularly because I rent, I don't want to damage walls and hanging things. I don't want to worry about that stuff. So a lot of stuff was in storage. It's not like I was enjoying looking at it. It was just packed away. And this happens with a lot of people with collections, where you collect something, you get a new, whatever it is. Let's say Zippos. You got your new Zippo. Oh man, it's so cool. And you're looking at it and you're playing with it. You're lighting it or whatever. Maybe not lighting it. Maybe you're touching it. Like my wife, she wanted to keep this brand new with the sticker on. She liked the design. But she has other lighters she can actually use, and does. So she wanted to keep this pristine, right? And then what? You just kind of forget about it. And that's okay. It doesn't mean you don't like it. It's just not exciting anymore like it used to be. Now, let's say you pack away in a box, and 5 months from now, a year from now, you open up the box and you fall in love with it. Oh, wow, yeah, I remember that. That's super cool. But what is it doing the whole time it's in the box? Nothing. You know what I mean? It's different when you display stuff or actively, you know, show things to people. But a lot of collections are just collecting dust. That's what collections do. It's across the board. It doesn't matter what you collect. Everyone experiences that at some point or on some level. So to me, it was just money. It was just an asset. And again, like I said, a unique opportunity to start over. You know, like, I love sharing everything here. I make videos for you guys to see. But like, you saw all those things, or at least most of those things. So like, what am I holding on to it for? I want to show you new stuff. You know what I mean? So yes, although it's sad, it came and went. It was years of collecting that's gone, but those memories aren't. And I have pictures of all the Zippos that I had. So if I ever want to see them again, I'll just look at a picture. And guess what? They were all the same inside. You know what I mean? They were all the same lighter. They just had different decorations on the outside. So I'm totally fine with it. It's not a, oh boy, I feel so sad Jeff had to do that. No, it's totally cool. Everything that I have is just possessions. When I die, I can't take anything with me. That's it. None of my stuff. It is super, super sad to see so many people when they pass away. And this is for a whole, you know, I'm going to say this for a whole separate video, which I'll film right after this one. I want to talk about this because I think this is kind of important for a lot of people out there. But yeah, it's just sad because they pass away, and then like the other people who are left, all that stuff's there. And you don't get to take anything with you. And a lot of times that stuff does not get treated how you might want it to be treated. But anyway, that's it for now. I'll get into details in the other video about that, because I do want to talk about that a little more extensively, and I don't want it to get lost at the end of this video. But that's all. Just want to say, still collecting Zippos, and now my wife is in addition. But it's not like one of those things where we're spending money every day. You know what I'm saying? Like right now we're not focused on, you know, buying so much. I mean, this was kind of an impulse purchase, but it's, you know, for the future. And when I say I collect something, it doesn't mean I'm buying it every day. It's no different than with knives or anything else. I get it when I can. I have opportunities to trade all the time, which is how I like to do it, because it just costs me shipping money. You know, I can get an $800 knife for, not $800, but for, let's say, maybe 30 bucks in shipping. Because I have to trade $800 worth of stuff, and I have to ship it, and I have to insure it, and that's going to cost me maybe 30 bucks, depending on where it's going. It really just depends. But I can also get, you know, I can also spend 12 bucks on, you know, a trade for $30 knives. I've done it all. I've spent, probably the most money I've spent for the least amount of product inside was, I traded someone years and years ago. They were in Russia. I forget what it was. They had a cold steel knife I wanted. And I think the knife was maybe, I don't know, maybe it was worth 70 bucks at the time, and I think shipping to Russia for what they wanted was also like 70 bucks or 75 bucks, because I always like USPS International Priority. Knock on wood, which, let's say in the background here, you can't see it, but I knocked on some wood. Never had a problem with that for international shipping. But anyway, that's it for now. I just want to clear the air there. I'm not giving up on Zippos. I love Zippos. Still going to collect them. You'll still see videos in the future about them. In fact, I will have a new Zippo video, not on the lighters, but a lighter accessory in the future, because going through stuff, I kind of refound something that I thought was super cool, so you'll see that in the future. But yeah, that's it for now. Thanks for watching. Hope you guys have an awesome day. Let me know down in the comment section if you're excited I'm still collecting Zippos. Most of you probably don't care, but there will be more Zippo content if that's what you're here for. You will see it. It won't be often, but it'll pop up every now and again. All right, let me know, you guys, if you carry a Zippo. My wife also likes the insert. She likes the traditional Zippo, and obviously putting a flint in and filling it. She knows how to do all that stuff, and that's cool, but she does like the butane inserts just because they last longer. She's not a smoker or anything. She's not carrying it to use like that, so essentially she'll fill a Zippo and experience that, 4 weeks later it's dry. You go to use it and it doesn't have any fluid in it, so she doesn't want to have to fill it every time she uses it. So she definitely appreciates the butane inserts, both like the aftermarket ones as well as the actual Zippo brands. But anyway, that's it for now. Thanks for watching. Hope you guys have a fantastic day, and I'll see you tomorrow with a brand new video. Take care.